All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome. Welcome to a game between Johnny Cage and Happy. Johnny Cage has spawned as the red human player on the bottom left-hand side of the map, going up against Happy, who has spawned as the yellow undead on the top right. No, just gonna go ahead and just jump right into this game. A human versus undead matchup here on Northern Isle should be a great matchup indeed. Most likely, we will be looking at Happy opening up with Death Knight and Ghouls and playing that very traditional undead style. Now, he will be able to get to Tech 3, and then from there, that is where he will start to finally deviate. Will he try to go for an expansion? What is his timing? Is he just going to try to run off of one base? All of those small important things that really start to add up. Acolyte now making its way over. Is he going to get the last hit there? That is the question. Trying to move aggro around all over the place, trying to get that timing off. And it looks as though the Archmage. Wait, did he get the last hit? That he might have gotten the last hit there. All right, let's take a look. No, the Footman is also off to the north as well. So we'll see who has more experience at the end of this fight. Oh, no, this is a 3-3-3 creep camp, not a 5-3-3. I temporarily forgot, thinking to myself that perhaps they should be closer to level 3 or level 2 when that is not the case. Yeah, 3-3-3 creep camp, not 5-3-3, meaning that it will not be able to get there. And a beautiful death coil onto a skeletal minion to try and save and maintain the integrity of the surround right there, as the Death Knight surrounds with two charges of skeletal minion to take down a footman. Great use already straight out from Happy. That micro coming in strong, but what does that do? It does buy time for Johnny Cage to easily clear out the remainder of this expansion without being pressured at all. Meanwhile, Death Knight is retreating back. Crypt Fiend is already out onto the battlefield. Death Knight will be getting to level 2, picking up Unholy Aura. Aura takes another Rod of Necromancy charge and will be able to make its way out here in just a moment. Finishing the last couple of units there, we see Cloak of Shadows has been picked up. Meanwhile, we are looking at the peasants trying to establish up an expansion. Johnny Cage is going to try to hold the door here. No Arcane Tower being started yet, though. That does come as a bit of a surprise, as there are still peasants off over here trying to offer a bit of protection. Militia, all lined up right there. In comes the damage. Skeletal minions going to try to dive on in. There's some more skeletal minions making their way over, and in comes the battle. Death Coil straight up onto a peasant there, as the units are trying to just engage in this fight here. And we are looking at Happy really doing his best to try and put pressure. All of the peasants are hiding inside, away from the attacks of that Death Knight, but the skeletal minions and Crypt Fiend attacks can still get into position. There's another Death Coil there. There is only 2 peasants left. There's a big round of denial once more, as the attacks and engagements still getting underway. 1 Rod of Necromancy charge is going to end up getting taken down. That peasant should be fine. More damage still racking up here as the Archmage tries to finish off a skeletal minion, but there's a bit of denial as well. All right, 1 peasant or 2 peasants apparently not realizing that they should be working here, as we're looking at a lot of speed building on this town hall. Death Knight now wants to make his way and make his presence known once more. Archmage is looking for the Death Knight, not realizing that the Death Knight is so close by, and still putting in more pressure as another peasant gets taken down. Death Knight getting halfway to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage is also halfway to, level 3. Level 3, as the peasants are now able to start mining away. This 1 scout tower, once it gets up and operational as an arcane tower, should be able to deter any sort of attacks any longer, as we're looking at the skeletal minions getting eaten up pretty easily here. Another Death Coil finishing off a footman here, as Happy is going to be forced to retreat, but his plan is already in place. He's already teched to tier 2, getting up a slaughterhouse, has a Lich being trained, and should be teching to tier 3 momentarily as well. All right, classic Happy playing with an impeccable micro, being able to use his army as well as he wants to, as Happy now looking to retreat back. Johnny Cage did a great job making sure to not lose too much and be able to still establish this expansion. But Happy somehow still has additional charges on that Rod of Necromancy and is still able to stick around. He will be forced to retreat back here, waiting for that first Obsidian statue, who will be boosting the overall undead army significantly. Lich now going to be making its way down out across the field. Some Frost Novas on some suspecting footmen is in order. The Lich has to be extremely careful as we're looking at a Crypt Fiend getting taken down. Or excuse me, not a Crypt Fiend, Water Elemental getting taken down there. Lich making its way back over, perhaps going to try and buy some items, picks up a Gloves of Haste and Circlet of Nobility. May have been some items that were originally held onto by the Death Knight, as the Death Knight now races its way down. We are getting up a Guard Tower in addition, Arcane Vault trying to be added, Crypt Fiends, however, going to quickly be able to cancel that there, as the Lich is just testing the waters, wanting to get down a big Frost Nova as well. Arcane Tower starting to rack up, or should be able to rack up a little bit of damage. Archmage gets the last hit off onto another skeletal minion there, getting a little bit of experience. And this is a situation that JohnnyCage doesn't have to be scared about, but he is going to be forced to try and keep all of these units alive. He's focused a large amount of supply onto these footmen, and these footmen are just not going to be overall that effective. Scout Tower now trying to be repaired and quickly getting taken down there. Massive repairs not working out well. No, and one of the things that human players often forget is the improved masonry upgrade that used to do absolute wonders going up against all of this pressure that the Undead is trying to push itself across here. Obsidian Statue is going to prolong this push even further as the footmen now charge in with Defend, only to get blasted with a Frost Nova, making that trek across towards those Crypt Fiends that much more difficult. All right, another footman going to get taken down. Footmen trying to throw up Defend to, well, defend themselves against the oncoming onslaught of all of those Crypt Fiends. And, well, Defend just not working as, well, I guess the true thing is Defend is working as intended, as Defend during the Reforged upgrade got changed to work as intended by the tool tip description, not realizing that it would throw off the balance of the game. Instead of updating the tooltip, actually updating the ability. All right. Not quite sure how that works. Hi, Mita, good to see you as well, as the Crypt Fiends are now starting to push their way through. This is the timing attack that Happy was hoping for. He knows that his opponent is only going to be sitting on footmen with Defend at the most. And this is how the Lich is just absolutely capitalizing. Now, the Obsidian Statue will start to run out of mana, and that is the counter timing here. A new Obsidian Statue may be on its way as well, as it is going to be able to join in on the fight. The tech to tier 3 nearing completion. And this is where most human players start to unravel, giving Undead players the time and opportunity to build up a large enough army and counterattack. Mountain King now out here onto the battlefield, and the footmen, many footmen saved by JohnnyCage, as we see a Frost Nova go down there. Stormbolt, the Death Coil is going to be coming in for the save, as the Frost Armor does come online here onto that Lich. They're getting in a big 400 hit point heal. All right, more damage could get racked up here. Obsidian Statues trying to back up here once more, and still that damage is still continuing to eat more and more here. All right, more damage coming back the other way. Footmen trying to retreat back. Footmen trying to perhaps engage against all of these units here, as the Archmage trying to start poking apart at this Lich. There is another Frost Armor trying to save some low hit point Crypt Fiends, and even level 1 Frost Armor, which doesn't greatly slow the auto attacks any longer. The slow level 1 still able to provide plenty of support for those Crypt Fiends, as well footmen with Defend unable to take down Crypt Fiends with Frost Armor and a Death Knight's Burst heal. Coming back off to the north, though, Happy does have the larger army by far, 22 supply compared to 45, and that's with 1 or 2 ghouls back at home. So it's really a 41 supply army altogether. Death Knight sitting at level 3 picks up some healing wards, and that is going to allow this army to stick around even longer, as the Death Knight getting back up close to maximum mana, or a decent amount of mana here. Meanwhile, the Mountain King going after the Ogre Magi Creep Camp Archmage, trying to scout things out, and both sides, barely able to see each other here. Are they going to be able to start? Yes, Archmage now makes its way over, trying to get some damage onto some of those things here, and could be trying to go after the Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue makes its way around, and only revealing those Crypt Fiends once more. Humans surviving with Archmage level 3 versus DK Lich Fiends, as always. Well, yeah, see, I mean, at that point, I would say he was surviving, but I wouldn't say he was thriving. This game is still anyone's game to be had. And the fact that there is a level 3 Lich and a level 4 Death Knight out on the field going up against a level 3 Archmage and a level 1, soon to be level 2 Mountain King, and most likely a Paladin to follow up behind, this game is still very much neck and neck. Johnny Cage gave a lot of experience to the Undead, and once the Death Knight gets up to level 5 and or the Lich gets up to level 4, things are going to change drastically, as the Lich will be able to get plenty of dark rituals off as well. Orb of Corruption, there was a quick frost armor right there, going to try and burst down this Ogre Warrior rather quickly and finishing them off when they have that, well, significantly less armor. Knights are already out onto the battlefield as well, so Knights with their Sundering Blades should be decent counters against those Crypt Fiends, but the Crypt Fiends are just so powerful for the simple fact that, well, their weakness is melee damage, and the Lich's Frost Nova coupled with Frost Armor pretty much negates their overall weakness. If you gave, I believe, if you gave Frost Armor to any other of the three races, their headhunters, their riflemen, and their archers would just become that much more powerful as well. More so for Undead, since they have access to such easy heals. Johnny Cage should focus fire the statues at his expo. Yeah. The problem with focus firing versus Happy is that Happy will, and you saw in that earlier fight, Happy was then moving away those obsidian statues that were threatened, and all of the range units and the footmen were actually walking into range of those Crypt Fiends and ending up taking more damage as well. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, saying that, yeah, you should focus fire, it works for me, is definitely true, but at the same time, Happy is strong enough to introduce the counterplay, as well as Happy now goes into anti-magic shell, allowing him to be able to shake off some of that thunderclap damage that the Mountain King wants to do, in addition to opening up possession onto those knights. I mean, so tough for human. How many times I sacrificed my poor footman just to live one more minute? Okay, yeah. And the problem is, if you don't train the footman, then you end up, if you don't train the footman, you lose the expansion. But if you do train the footman, keep the expansion, you are feeding experience to the Undead. And now Happy nearly has level 5 on his Death Knight already. Mountain King, however, does have a good amount of items. Potion of Greater Mana on both the Mountain King and the Paladin, so they will not be running out of mana anytime soon. Once you get that Paladin to level 3 as well, that is going to be an interesting scenario, as 400 hit point heals would be a very big boost, as well as the Death Knight will be able to do 600 hit point heals, but that is where you start to get into that overheal range, as healing 600 hit points on a 550 hit point Crypt Fiend really doesn't make that big of a difference. High ladder. Yeah. All right, coming back around, Archmage does have that Orb of Fire. Mountain King has a Cloak of Flames. Paladin is just sitting back here, and we're seeing Johnny Cage try to build up a decent-sized army. All right, in comes Wand of Illusion Death Knights here with Endurance Aura as well. What is going on? They are, it has to realize that those are not real. Quickly takes them down. There's a Thunderclap trying to slow things down, even though the damage is mitigated. Rifleman going to continue to fire back around, perhaps trying to finish off some of those ghouls, as the Staffs of Sanctuary are saving some of those knights as well. All right, in comes some damage. 66 supply compared to 74. Crypt Fiend getting taken down right there. You see Curse on those riflemen, so auto attacks don't work. Magic damage doesn't work, and any damage you do deal ends up getting mitigated by those obsidian statues. Paladin falls at level 2. Death Knight was caught in an open position and is being forced to retreat back. All right, all of that curse causing those units to miss their attacks as well. I think it's a 25. I need to double check what the actual miss chance is, but that does really give overall higher effective hit points to the Undead army. This is This is a tournament game. I'm not going to tell you from what event it is, because I believe that is actually a bit of a spoiler as well if you're watching this live. So, yes, there is more more to be played on than just trying to get some ladder points. Lich sitting at level 4. Death Knight purposely keeping his distance, trying to give that Lich level 5. Lich is currently at, well, fast attack speed here. The Endurance Aura is still there. Does the Lich only have fast after 2 Gloves of Haste? Yeah, only 2 Gloves of Haste and Endurance Aura. Still only has a fast attack speed, not very fast. But still will be able to rack up a decent amount of damage. Mountain King with Cloak of Flames, very effective here. Archmage going to try to take a little bit of experience. Paladin should be back out onto the battlefield since he got taken out but was relatively low in level. Multiple level 3 heroes and a level 2 going up against a level 5 Death Knight and a level 4. Potion of Invulnerability needed on that Paladin to keep the Paladin alive just a little while longer, while Devotion Aura, well, trying to work its magic as well. 33% mischance, I believe, and yet humans get no breakers or mortars. Well, we do see fragmentation shards now being trained up here, but we do remember fragmentation shards was nerfed in the matchup. I think mainly because of the Knight Human versus Night Elf matchup, but changing that also changed the matchup between Human and Undead. A couple of farms now being taken down here. 84 supply over 78 upside down. JohnnyCage also trying to hold on barely. Micro Staff of GG, yes, Staff of Sanctuary, able to save a priest as he saw the death coil racing towards him, able to survive just a little while longer. 83 over 84 supply. There is fragmentation shards researched, but there is actually no mortar teams out here on the battlefield. JohnnyCage actually having a large amount of workers, 20 workers here. And this is one of the things where it feels like having the right amount of workers is tough as human, because you also want to make sure you have enough army to call militia, but now you're also stuck in this high upkeep range, still unable to keep an army even against the undead who is running off of one base. All right, Rifleman with 3-1 upgrades. Inner Fire, trying to be dealing damage back. Meanwhile, Happy says, anything you can do, I can do better. I have a complete green army that also I can give Frost Nova to, and on top of that, I will be cursing all of your units so your Rifleman cannot hit the broadside of a barn. All right, getting ready into an engagement. There's the mortar team trying to launch some attacks here. Here we are. There is some damage. Those, all of those banshees in that backline could cause problems. Rifle or quick Staff of Sanctuary trying to save all of those mortar teams there as the Mountain King and Paladin are diving in. Mountain King actually getting stuck in a little bit back here, trying to get healed up a little bit more before leading the charge. Not quite sure where the Mountain King's going. The new mortar team joins in on the battle as the Knights are trying to push in across. The Destroyer able to devour magic and then get in a death coil for the heal as the fighting still underway. Mountain King continuing to stay alive here as the Paladin does have some survivability items. Meanwhile, Paladin uses the potion of healing to stay alive after all of that time as the Mountain King has been throwing down thunderclaps as best as he can, trying to split things apart here. 72 supply compared to 80. Mountain King getting after some of those banshees, all of those trailing units, maybe able to take down one more banshee, does do that. 79 supply compared to 96 as the units are retreating back. More mortar teams coming in from the far side here. More damage coming in. Rifleman getting taken down as the Paladin able to use some holy light as well. Paladin still sitting only at level 2, unable to get that very large burst heal that he wants at level 3 as another death coil saves that Cryptmeme. More holy light onto Knights as the Knights are just trying to charge in after all of those units as the Lich is still able to pick apart some of those targets. Mountain King gets a Stormbolt off onto a completely suspecting Cryptmeme. Cryptmeme could end up getting taken down. Death coil for the save does get it back up to full hit points once more as we're looking at the Cryptmeme now trying to back away again. All right, he gets denied. The Cryptmeme, after all of that time, finally gets denied here. Knight taking a bit of damage and, well, nope, about to get possessed, only to get Staff of Sanctuary out of there. Archmage gets up to level 4. Paladin stays at level 2. After that, a counter push once more. And at this point in stage in the game, what is going to happen? JohnnyCage sitting at 80 over 96 supply, decent size army. Happy is getting into the end of end of the game here with only 1,000 gold left out of that gold mine. However, the expansion is also completely mined out as well. But we are going to be looking at a 75 or a 10,000 gold difference between JohnnyCage and Happy, mined from this map. But Happy is still very much in this game here, even though he has the significantly weaker economy. Coming back around, Archmage does have True Shot Aura, giving those riflemen a little bit of bonus damage as well. Mountain King perhaps trying to use the marketplace to shore up some of his weaknesses, and picks up another potion of greater mana. Archmage, all right, Paladin, he has a potion of invulnerability. He has a scroll of healing. He may want a potion of healing as well, as we are going to be looking at perhaps an unsummon from Happy and some sort of final push. Hey, Critter, just wanted to say thanks for the VODs all these years. No problem. Still tune in to your replays. Definitely the best person left doing it. All right, that is. So you're saying that the Chump S and SBK and everyone else was doing it, I wouldn't be the best person? No. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think after what 10 years of practice, SBK and Chumpask and some of the other YouTube guys out there, they would be just as good as me, if not better. Coming back around, Devour Magic looking oh so delicious. That Destroyer now trying to retreat back here as we're looking at the engagement coming back across. All right, a quick death coil on to the Priest. Priest able to stay alive ever so barely. No backhanded compliments there. I like your style. Very sports-esque. Yes, that is my style. Trying to be fast-talking, trying to capture all of the moments here as the Knights, well, get their inner fire devoured by that Destroyer once more. 21 to 27 magic damage, immune to magic. There's a Stormbolt onto a Banshee. Banshee could end up getting taken down pretty easily. There's a Thunderclap, anti-magic shell, unable to save the damage from those Knights here. Are the Knights getting possessed? It looks as though the Knights are going to get possessed. Staff of Sanctuary takes him back away once more as the Archmage quickly gets bursted down. Close-up view of that. Archmage falls at level 4, and all it takes is one slip up, and suddenly Happy it can get into control of this fight. All right, Banshees still with anti-magic cell mortar teams pushing in additional damage. And what is this? Animate Dead to turn things around. If those units weren't there before, causing problems, here you are once more. More peasants are continuing to push here. JohnnyCage 61 to 96, and is Animate Dead gonna be the thing that turns the tide of this fight here, as the Paladin is in trouble. He has no more survivability. Potion of invulnerability could be used. Down to 3 hit points. He did not use it. He had a potion of invulnerability and did not use it. And now the Mountain King is in trouble by himself. All right, Mountain King trying to retreat back away. He doesn't have the potion of invulnerability either, as he gets taken down. And, well, Happy has the smaller army, but ends up with the win in this fight right there after all the heroes were taken out. All right, a crazy matchup. Things just completely unraveling in the final minutes of that game between Happy and JohnnyCage. JohnnyCage doing a great job setting himself and getting himself into position to try and stay alive, but the marketplace just didn't have the necessary items to keep his units alive long enough. The Archmage went down first, the backbone of the army, then, taking down the Paladin, and the additional bonus damage from the Animate Dead, getting those priests who are just constantly attacking, being able to tip things in his favor. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.